Now, if you speak out against the Israeli government, you speak out against AIPAC, you speak about money and politics and brutality and corruption, then you're shamed by the president of the United States, and you're not able to go different places like Israel. But if you do stuff what this guy does, interesting. Here we go. Here's what Steve King had to say recently. You guys probably heard about this already. U.S. Rep. Steve King over in Iowa. If not for rape and incest, would there be any population left? He said this. All right. U.S. Representative Steve King told the West Side Conservative Club on Wednesday that humanity might not exist if not for rape and incest. What if we went back through all the family trees and just pulled those people out that were products of rape and incest? Would there be any population of the world left if we did that? He said at an event in Urbandale, Iowa. Considering all the wars and all the rapes and pillages taking place and whatever happened to culture after society, I know I can't certify that I'm not a part of a product of that. The Chiron Republican was defending his position of not allowing exceptions for rape and incest in the anti-abortion legislation he tried to pass in Congress. Republican leadership had prevented the bills he sponsored on banning abortions from advancing through the House, despite GOP support for the measures. Wow. And that was his logic. That was his logic. Hey, a lot of rape and incest happened throughout history. We should make people have the baby now. Hey, why don't we use leeches anymore when we treat people for healthy conditions? We did that so often throughout history. Imagine if all the people who were treated with leeches weren't able to breed. Hey, why don't we just carry around axes and think of if all the people who carried around axes weren't able to breed, think about what a crazy, ridiculous sentiment to say. Wow. That guy, he's an elected official who said that in public, who made such a ridiculous rape apologist statement in public. He's an elected official. And as Dave Anthony pointed out on Twitter, by the way, the state that he represents, they set the tone for the election. And I'm not saying that, of course, Steve King does not represent all the people of Iowa. I know that. But man, that guy somehow gets into office making insane statements like that. And by the way, I believe even Meghan McCain said that was ridiculous. But will anything happen to this guy? I don't know. People are calling on him to resign. Let's see if anything changed as of this morning. Did Steve King resign? I'm sure he didn't, but we'll try to just check up in real time. Now, bipartisan calls people are calling for him to resign. Democrats and Republicans apparently they're calling on him to resign. What a crazy statement to make. You can't even you look at horrible things that happened throughout history. So why would we want those horrible things to stop? What? Are you insane? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. The fact that we're still talking about abortion as if it is just some black and white issue is beyond me. It's beyond me that we still haven't evolved further than that, where, hey, you don't like abortions, here's an idea, don't get one. There you go. If you're against it, no one's forcing it upon anyone. It's just, hey, if you're a woman and you're in that situation, you have a choice. You have the right to choose. That's your right, because it's your body. Steve King. Wow. Crazy. I think I just had an I can't even moment. Is that what I had there? I had an I can't even moment for Steve King. Like he actually said that. And who prepped him on this? Who did he run this by? Does he have people who work for him where he runs it by him first? And nobody was like, you know what, dude, I feel like that's going to come off kind of terrible. That's going to come off as super atrocious. And the fact that you have those thoughts are pretty disturbing, but you should probably keep those to yourself and not say them publicly. No one was there to be like, hey, dude, yeah, exit. He said that into a microphone in public, knowing he's an elected representative, and thought, this is fine. Wow, that happens. 2019, stuff like that happens. You wonder why our system's where it's at. You wonder why President Trump tweets the things he tweets. Why stuff like this happens. Why? You wonder why. Because you have people like Steve King. They are elected officials. And this is what, and I'm sure the Democrats are going to find nothing to run against him. They're going to find somebody who promises nothing to run against him. So many times you're choosing between snake oil or no oil at all. You're choosing between lies or just nothing. And eventually people are so desperate, they take a chance on the lies. That's why Donald Trump won in the first place. People were so desperate that they took a chance on the bogus promises he was making. Pennsylvania went red for the first time in a presidential since 1988. He was promising to reopen the steel mills. He was promising all the steel mills have been closed for 40 years. He's saying he's going to reopen them. It was absolutely crazy. But people took a chance on it because they were desperate. And they remember what NAFTA did to them. They remember that. They know that Hillary Clinton was promoting fracking around the world. So they took a chance on a snake oil salesman. And this is our system. This is our system. Where you have two parties, both propped up by Wall Street, both in bed with billionaires and the 1% and the donor class. And you have to choose. Do you want the fascist right-wing party or the right-wing party? Make a choice. Have fun. And then you get people like Steve King. Dude's in office. Dude's an elected official. Makes statements like that.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your